Well, here's what this reminded me of, and I know, Murr, you may or may not have caught in glimpses of this. This is back in the day with our brethren from Phi Tau at Maryland, when they were constantly in and out of probation with the fraternity council. When they would get back on, they were allowed to have parties, and basically the parties were so tightly clamped down with rules and restrictions and things like that it became impossible to have a party. Just like they think like, someone who came to the party, who wasn't a part of the fraternity, who doesn't live here, brought a 6-pack of Bud Light. The beer registry said that everyone was bringing Milwaukee's Best Light. Like, well, how the hell am I supposed to go to the liquor store with 150 people who are going to show up here and make sure that each and every person brings a 6-pack of Milwaukee's Best? How the hell am I supposed to be able to do that? My point is, what laws are there that talk about trafficking a tiger or a lion or an endangered species or feline from Virginia to South Carolina? You know what I mean? Like, you can't do it. If you cross the state line with a fucking lion, you're breaking the law, right?
Yeah,
yeah. 100%. I think that's the gist of it. Yeah.
Right. Unless you probably sign away and you pay a fuck ton of money to the state and say, yep. In this case, it would be 2 states because you're going through North Carolina.
Using your college party analogy here, the basics are we don't want you to have drinking parties at your fraternity house.
Yeah.
That's what they want to say. But because it's America, they can't demand that of you. Mm-hmm. So they come up with all these loophole schemes to be able to shut down a party when you do have it. And the same thing happens like, well, we don't really want people to own exotic animals, but it's America, and we can't stop you from having 2 lions that happen to fuck and have another lion. So what we can do is create this loophole is if someone else touches that lion that came out of your other lion's asshole, then you're now in trouble for trafficking lions. And that's how they get you. They don't want you to do it, period. Yeah. But they can't stop you, so they find ways to arrest you when you do it. That's all it is. I don't feel bad for Doc Antle. I just don't like this, super secret probationary, you're under arrest. They want to prevent people from doing this. I understand. Right. But it's always bullshit when they get caught.
They certainly don't want to stop the lions from fucking, though. They want to keep that lion sex fucking hooting and hollering, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it, man.
Are lions endangered?
What's that?
Are lions endangered?
I think all big animals are endangered, I guess. I don't know. What the hell do I know?
Yeah, we don't need facts. We don't need facts to make our points.
Big animals. Well, can I ask just one quick question? What's the line for big? Like, what's the smallest big animal in Westeros?
Human.
The smallest big animal is a human?
No.
We're not endangered?
No, I'm saying anything non-human that's bigger than us is probably endangered.
I'd agree with that. I would say anything. I would say most predators, most apex predators are endangered. I would say that's the case. You know why? Because we fucking took them all out because we are the apex predator. Don't ever think otherwise, okay? Which way do our eyes face? Forward. And we fucked them all up. I don't feel bad for these animals. I actually don't even give a shit if any of these endangered species go the fuck away. There's more space for us. All right? We always talk, we're running out of land. No, we're not. We're running out of endangered species that we haven't killed off yet. That's why we don't have enough land, because we're saving it for them for no reason.
Right. I understand ecosystems getting destroyed and things like that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I guess we could just
We have a guy in Los Angeles that can build a jetpack that goes a mile high in his garage. We can build new ecosystems.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with Merle on this one because I think, aren't we like past the tipping point anyway? Let's just ride this motherfucker into oblivion. Like, let's just cut every fucking tree down and see how long it takes for all of us to suffocate.
Yeah, right. That's the survival of the fittest. I have no problems with what Doc Antle was doing. I think this imaginary line bullshit, kind of a la George Young and Blow, that I took a plant and I went across a few state lines that were imaginary. If there was some sort of recovery program to where you're then shipping some of these off, but then again, I don't know. Are these Are these countries willing to take these? I doubt it. So then what do you do? Do you just create more petting zoos, or do you let them loose in the Georgia wild and have them?
Well, here's the problem. Like, see, that's the thing is, so you've only got so many zoos, and like nobody goes to fucking zoos anymore. So they're all strapped for cash, which is how I think fucking tigers end up on black markets anyway, and get to guys like Doc Antle. But that's a whole fucking different story. But fucking like, you can't just throw them back in the wild, which is kind of fucking useless. Like, for being apex predators, I've always gotten, like, this has always kind of fucked me up. Like, I watch Discovery Channel, and David Attenborough's like, look at this beautiful fucking cat, but we can't put it back in the jungle because it's too fucking stupid. It's just been getting fucking hand-fed raw chicken by a guy in khaki for 20 years, and it's fucking useless. And so, like, I just, like, that always bugged me because I feel like we should be able to just take those 100 fucking tiger kittens and be like, all right, jungle, nurture them to fucking adulthood.
I agree.
But that's not how it happens. Like, they'll get killed by, like, a fucking bird, and it's just embarrassing. And so there's a double-edged sword for me because I'm like, yeah, let's use these tigers that have been milled like fucking French bulldogs for elite white women, fucking, and just throw them back into the wild. But you can't because they're dumb. Like,
but wait, I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like that's a line that they use so people stop breeding them because they're like, well, we can't put them back in the wild if you breed them. Bullshit. Why we haven't tried? Let's try.
No, I think we have tried, and they just fucking wander around and die.
Okay. Then they're not badass, and they deserve to die. They deserve to die off if they can't handle growing up in a cage for a year or two. Okay, where's the instinct? This goes back to the Globetrotter theory here. So, Wes, they play 100 games, they win one, okay, against an NBA team. So you release 100 domesticated lions and tigers out into the wild, and if one of them survives, that's a victory. Then the rest of the ecosystem gets to feed on fresh lion blood. Yippee-ki-yay, everybody wins.
I think it just, like, it comes down to, so, like, this is where it gets me, is, like, I feel like eating, like, hunting and shit like that should come natural, so it shouldn't be a problem. But, like, I think where the true problem might come in, like, this is why I'm so torn, because I'm like, sure, fucking mill them up, drop them in the jungle. But we can't drop them in the jungle. It's not that simple. But fucking, I think the problem is like, all right, say they're in captivity for a year or two. Fucking one of them like breaks a fucking paw, and we humans put it in a splint, we nurture it, and it's fine. But in the jungle, if one of those fucking cubs breaks a leg, they're like, oh well, cub, peace out, we got to keep moving, and it just dies. And so we've softened them up too much.
It's still the circle of life, baby. I mean, look, and as far as like releasing like these things back into the wild, like it's the Die Hard scenario here. You've got the Ellises of the world, and you got the John McClanes of the world. Okay, one of them's gonna crack under pressure, one of them's gonna thrive. You gotta let the John McClanes thrive, man. Anyway, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Would we overpopulate if we just dumped them all back? Would that be a problem?
No. Go back like a century and imagine how many like wild tigers there were.
Yeah, but there were less people, so
just because there was more tigers.
So do villagers? Villagers just start fucking getting?
No, they right? shoot them. They shoot them more, and we put more back in, and they shoot those. Circle of life. Mercer said it.
There you go. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, people want those nice, beautiful pelts. So if there's more pelts to be had, it balances right back out. You don't have to worry. I mean, and I think about all certain countries like employ like massive like militias to go out and make sure people aren't poaching. Imagine if you don't have to worry about the poachers. You make them pay a crap ton of money to, you want to kill a tiger? Yeah, we got like thousands of them. We don't need them anymore. Most of them are dumb. They're just hanging out by the river waiting for a bullet to go through their eye.
I've kind of just come to a realization, and I think that we, us three, are probably not the best people to speak on this. We've basically gone from fucking puppy petting and puppy milling tigers and being like, oh, well, that's kind of frowned upon, right? And then working our way to dumping them into the wild or their natural habitat for the now humans to kill them to provide furs to a market that probably wanted to pet tiger kittens anyway.
They're easier to pet when they're
we've really
dead.
just filled the void that we made. We're in the exact same place the long way around.
Right.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Does Doc
Antle doesn't spend 20 years in jail.
Does he do
and
time?
that's exploiting endangered species.
Does he do time? Yes or no?
Yeah, they're gonna get him with something.
Like a slap on the wrist,
I'm gonna say,
or hard time?
I think in the investigation, something's gonna come out about his sex cult. Like,
yeah.
They're gonna have killed someone, or like one of them was definitely 17 and he didn't know. You know what I mean? He fucked up. So I think that's what's gonna happen. And then they're just gonna be like, "Oh man, now we got to take all the tigers away. They're gone. You're going to federal prison now. That's what's happening."
I agree with Alan in most points here. I think he loses his tiger ranch to pay for the legal bills where he's found out to have done something freaky with his colt, and he goes to jail for the colt and loses the tiger farm in order to pay the legal bills to fight the endangered species trafficking laws.